On January 23, 2026, the internet watched what seemed to be the final nail in Adam22's coffin, a 73-second knockout at the hands of Jason Luv, the same man who, months prior, had filmed a viral scene with Adam's wife. To the average viewer, this was the ultimate L, a total loss of dignity, broadcast to millions. But if you're looking at this as a sports failure, you're missing the biggest business play of the decade. While the world was busy mocking him, Adam22 was executing a masterclass in antifragility, the rare business ability to actually grow through chaos and humiliation. In 2025, No Jumper was reportedly going broke.
So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke.
Layoffs were hitting, their massive LA warehouse was up for sale, and legal fees were stacking up. Adam didn't try to fix his reputation. He decided to monetize the damage. He realized that in 2026, attention has no moral compass. It only has a price tag. Today, we are dissecting the Adam22 Blueprint. We're going to look at the cold, hard math behind the Cuck narrative, how he turned a physical beating into a pay-per-view windfall, and why, in an attention economy, the villain is the only one who truly scales. If you want to understand how a brand can survive the unsurvivable, you need to understand how this machine works. Pay attention, because we're breaking down the loss leader strategy. I'm going to show you exactly how Adam used a family crisis to lower his customer acquisition cost to zero. This isn't a gossip video. It's an examination of the most controversial business model on the internet. Let's get into the numbers. To understand why Adam22 is still winning, you have to understand a concept used by companies like Costco and Amazon, the loss leader. A loss leader is a product sold at a price below its market cost to stimulate other, more profitable sales. For Adam, his reputation was the loss leader. He traded his social standing for the most valuable asset in 2026, proprietary traffic. Think about the math. In late 2025, No Jumper was facing a massive CAC, or customer acquisition cost. It was becoming more expensive than ever to get new viewers. But the Jason Luv saga changed that. By leaning into the Cuck narrative, Adam triggered a global curiosity loop. Every single person who Googled Adam22 Jason Luv was being funneled into his private ecosystem, without Adam spending a single dollar on traditional ads. The results were staggering. Reports indicate that Jason Luv was making between $12,000 and $13,000 a day from that single scene alone. If the guest was making that much, imagine the house's take. Industry analysts estimate that the Jason Luv content cycle generated millions of dollars in new subscriptions for the Plug Talk brand. In business terms, Adam converted public shame into long-term lifetime value from tens of thousands of new subscribers. This is the weaponized L. While the trolls were busy writing paragraphs about his lack of manhood, Adam was busy scaling a business that is now in the top 0.01% of the platform. He realized that the internet's memory is short, but a recurring subscription is forever. He didn't lose his wife. He gained a customer base that will follow their brand for the next decade. But it wasn't just about the money. This move was a desperate, calculated response to a failing business model. Remember, Adam had just admitted that spending $5 million on the No Jumper building was a mistake. He was underwater. He needed a viral miracle to keep the lights on, and he chose the most controversial miracle available. Let's look at how he used that momentum to save the No Jumper empire from bankruptcy. To understand why Adam22 leaned into the most controversial content of his career, you have to look at his balance sheet. In early 2025, Adam made a rare admission. Spending $5 million on the No Jumper warehouse was a massive strategic mistake.
How could we be going broke? Well, let's start here. We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took a hit. We hired a whole bunch of editors and other employees, and we bought a huge office building that cost us almost $4 million, thinking that the growth that we were experiencing during the pandemic was going to continue. And unfortunately, that did not happen.
He had built a cathedral for a religion that was rapidly losing followers. The perfect storm hit all at once. First, he lost the No Jumper Instagram, a decade of marketing gone overnight. Then, a series of six-figure lawsuits from former employees began to drain his cash reserves. By April 2025, Adam was forced to announce mass layoffs and the closing of his retail stores. He wasn't just losing his reputation, he was losing his empire. Adam realized a hard truth about the 2026 economy. Prestige doesn't pay a mortgage. The cool hip-hop interviews that built No Jumper were no longer generating the RPM or the virality needed to maintain a multi-million-dollar overhead. He had to pivot from being a tastemaker to being a conflict promoter. He traded the respect of the hip-hop community for the raw, unbridled attention of the drama seekers. He began downsizing the physical business while upsizing the digital controversy. By selling the warehouse and moving to a lean, low-overhead workspace, he mimicked the DJ Vlad model of high-margin, low-cost production. But to make that pivot work, he needed a big bang event to reset the brand. He needed something so loud it would drown out the news of his financial struggle. The Jason Luv situation wasn't just a personal choice. It was a financial Hail Mary. It provided the liquidity and the traffic injection needed to stabilize the business during its weakest moment. Let's look at how he handled the aftermath using a tactic I call the cardboard cutout defense to ensure the L stayed profitable. Most people saw this photo and felt physical cringe. But in the world of high-level PR, this was a surgical strike. In business, when a competitor or a hater finds a weakness, they will exploit it until you go bankrupt. Adam's weakness was the Jason Luv knockout. If he acted embarrassed, the meme would live forever. If he got angry, the trolls would win. So, he did the only thing that could kill the joke. He became the joke. By buying the cutout and taking family photos with it, Adam executed a move called radical self-irony. He de-weaponized the L. You can't bully a man who is already laughing at himself louder than you are. This isn't just a personality trait, it's a retention hack. It forced his audience to move from hating him to being confused by him. And on YouTube, confusion leads to more watch time than simple anger ever will. The result? His engagement numbers in early 2026 didn't just stabilize, they exploded. He turned a moment of potential brand death into a character arc. He stopped being a person and became a content prop. By leaning into the Cuck branding, he ensured that every time Jason Luv's name was mentioned in 2026, No Jumper got a mention too. It was a symbiotic marketing loop fueled entirely by the internet's need to be outraged. While the internet was distracted by his personal life, Adam was quietly killing the old No Jumper business model. Let's be real, the SoundCloud era is over, and the high-production rap interview is a declining asset. In 2025, Adam admitted the business was at an all-time low. His response? He pivoted from journalism to conflict media. Look at the recent clash with Dean the Great.
Like, it's just when you try to put yourself on a different level and act as if you have it in you, that you're like, the idea that you would be on the level of a Johnny Sins, of a Jason Luv, of an Adam22, that you'd be able to even smell the air that my exists in is kind of offensive to me. You come in here eating nerds.
If anybody can hit Lena, it ain't somebody got to be at a certain profile. She probably getting hit right now.
No.
She probably getting
smacked that's right the now. Kind of shit right there that I'm like, okay, I think.
But no, but if it's gonna be respect, you're gonna respect me too, though. You throwing all these shots and shit.
How am I gonna respect you when you're somebody who's realistically only known for getting the dog beat out of you?
I say the same for you. You only known for getting your wife getting by BBC.
Yeah, I don't know how much more we have to discuss at this point. I'm gonna do the gentle thing.
That's cool.
And I'm not gonna elbow you in the face or give you a Larry Wheel style slap. I'm just gonna politely ask you to exit the podcast.
It wasn't about the guest music or their story. It was a high-stakes 10-minute shouting match designed specifically to be clipped for TikTok and Reels. Adam realized that in 2026, the algorithm doesn't reward insight. It rewards volatility. He stopped trying to find the next big artist and started trying to find the next big argument. This is a cold, calculated business pivot. Conflict media is cheaper to produce, requires less research, and has a 10x higher virality rate. By turning No Jumper into a live-action reality show, Adam stabilized his overhead and guaranteed daily traffic. He traded the respect of the hip-hop purists for a predictable, high-volume revenue stream. He's no longer a tastemaker, he's a ringmaster. But where does all that attention actually go? From here, we are going to follow the money trail into the private fortress Adam built to ensure he can never be deplatformed. Here is the part that the average troll misses. Adam22 doesn't care about his YouTube AdSense. For him, the No Jumper channel is a loss leader. It's just the top of a very profitable funnel. He uses the free drama on YouTube to drive high-intent traffic to platforms he owns and controls. While you're typing L in the comments, he's collecting subscription revenue that is completely uncancelable. Between the Plug Talk empire, which reportedly cleared 7 figures during the Jason Luv hype cycle, and his aggressive plays in the 2026 crypto market, Adam has built a financial fortress. He isn't vulnerable to a single brand deal or a YouTube demonetization. He has realized that in the modern economy, the most hated man in the world is also the most marketable. As long as people are curious enough to click, Adam is profitable. Adam has mastered the most difficult skill in the creator economy, embracing the villain role. Most creators go into a mental health spiral when the internet turns on them. Adam leans in. He knows that being liked is a hobby, but being watched is a business. In a world of 50 million creators, the main character is the only one who gets paid at the end of the day. Whether it's a parking lot brawl with Dean the Great or a public feud with his former co-hosts, Adam ensures he is the protagonist of the week. He has decoupled his self-worth from his likes and attached it to his reach. He is the first creator to realize that in 2026, the winner isn't the person with the best reputation. It's the person who is impossible to ignore. So, is Adam22 a marketing genius or just a man who sold his soul for a check? The answer is probably both. But from a business perspective, the verdict is clear. He didn't just survive the Jason Luv era. He used it to build a more resilient, more profitable, and more unavoidable brand than ever before. He proved that shame is a choice, but attention is a commodity. But I want to hear from you. Is Adam22 the blueprint for the 2026 creator? Or is this the beginning of the end for internet culture? Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts on Adam22 in the comments below. I'll see you there.